Hello everybody, and welcome back. This will be episode number 11 now of the Somerset Survival Series. Now I do apologise, I've not done a video or uploaded anything now for a couple of weeks, so if you've watched the previous ones and you've kind of been curious, I do apologise. I've just not been feeling too great, to be honest, and work has been pretty hectic, so I am back now. I'm going to record this episode and probably the next episode just while I have some time today, just so I can try and release some. But thank you very much for tuning back in if you've come back to watch it. It's been nearly 2 weeks, to be honest, since I've recorded the last one, so I'm going to have to kind of remind myself what we were doing. I think if I remember correctly, we just purchased the baler. So that's going to be the aim for today, I guess. Now, just with regards to the baler, I don't know if anyone had spotted in the last one, but its actual requirement to use is 115 horsepower. So I'm pretty hopeful that because of the slope there, the bit like we did with the harvester, as long as we drive up to the top without it turned on, turn around and come back down the hill, that should help us get along a little bit. Now, I think the issue is, albeit it is realistic, it's with the extra REA mods, which kind of allow you to sink into the ground and use realistic kind of textures. Potentially the tractor may get stuck, so we'll have to find out, but it is what it is. If it doesn't work, I don't know what we're going to do. But that's one of the jobs today. Now I notice here in the meantime we have got some lettuce. If you look in the top corner, I did increase the size of the HUD, by the way, so hopefully that is a little bit better. But you will notice that we are minus £20, so that's because pretty much at the end of the last episode we spent everything to get that baler. And then overnight, it's then charged us the kind of usual £220 property maintenance, which has put us minus. So we're not going to be buying anything for the minute. We need to think of a way to make some profit. Now, potentially as well, I don't know the costing of the straw currently. So £105, and we are currently in. So yeah, I do seem to remember now. Actually, we are pretty much at the lower end of the straw price. So that's not going to be something we can do today. But of course, between now baling the straw and sunning the straw, we still need to be purchasing the front loader attachment for the tractor, the front loader itself, and then some form of bale fork or potentially just standard pallet forks. But there's quite a bit to get, to be honest with you. So we do have to be saving up for that as our next priority. Now, while we're here, let's just have a little look at how many eggs we've got. And potentially we do need to sell some of the chickens as well, because we have got full capacity now. I can't remember if that took 4 or 8 chickens at a time. I want to say it took 8. So we'll get a selection and we'll sell them too. That should make us a little bit of money. At least get us out of the minus. So what have we got there at the minute? So there are 164 eggs there. So that's not really worth anything for a minute or two. Now, what I did do in the meantime, albeit I've not been playing it, I did have a look at the replacement for this. Now, I have the pickup truck in place, which we looked at previously, but also on Mod Network, I found what I think is going to be a better replacement, and stick with that kind of van theme, which I quite like, to be honest with you. So that is more than likely what we go for. I will have a look to see if there's any comments and any kind of recommendations, but I like that. That looks pretty cool, and I think the pickup truck with the bullnose attachment might be a bit too functional for this early on. So yeah, I think we'll probably go with the van instead. Similar thing, trade in that van over there and £5,000, and that will purchase that one for us. What I will do is match the exact same amount of fuel as the other one, and the same kind of damage, I guess, or wear and tear as that one over there. So we're still going to have an imminent repair bill at some point, again just to keep that challenge. But here it is. So we're going to need to slowly bring the tractor over, pick this one up. Hopefully we can run it. Now, I did decide to go straight in for that one, because I do prefer the square baler, and that kind of future-proofs that whole section, to be honest with you. So we've just got to hope we can run it. We're certainly not going to be affording a new tractor already. So that's going to be the first thing, I guess, to do. So let's just jump over, bring that out. So we'll get into the tractor, we'll bring the baler back, and we'll just have a little trial run. See how it gets on coming down the field and baling up some straw. And then we will at some point bring the van back for, again, one of its final jobs for us, and sell some lettuce just to get us out of the minus. But for a minute that doesn't really matter because we're not going to be buying anything currently. So right, we'll head this way. I'll skip to the shop, see you in a sec. Okay, so I skipped through a little bit further than I said. This is quite time consuming. Now the issue I've already spotted is just the weight of this baler alone, before we even turn it on, before we even lower it, is actually lifting the front wheels. So a lot of the time when we're turning, we're not actually turning. So I'm already foreseeing this may not be ideal, as you can see right now, but we will give it a go. Now I'm not even going to try and drive up the hill, so we'll head straight to the top and we'll give it a trial run. We'll also then get a good idea of exactly how much straw we're going to get out of each kind of run from top to bottom. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be much, but I do think that this is going to take quite some time because the swaths are obviously very, very small. So anyway, let's give it a go. So unfold the baler, just line that up. And see what happens. Yeah, so it runs it. It's going to run it very, very slowly, but the hill is definitely helping. In fact, it's going quite quick. Now, what are we at? Not very much currently. Mind you, that is 1500 litres. Now, let's just pop the menu back open and just figure out which size we are on. So 220 centimetre. To be honest, let's leave it as that, because I would imagine the front loader, when we do eventually get it, will not cope with lifting much heavier than that anyway. Now we're going to have to turn this off every time we want to turn, and I'm going to try and go up the hill, but I'm not too sure if it'll work. We will soon find out. Potentially not. Okay, right, it's just started going. That's not too bad. The great thing I like about this baler is obviously you don't have to stop each time you get a bale, which is great, which is kind of a standard thing for the round bales. But this particular one has a very large pickup, so you tend not to miss very much, which is good. Now I am getting stuck, so potentially we might stick to driving to the top of the hill and kind of rolling back down again. But anyway, right, I'm just going to speed this next little bit up, try and get this done. I will leave the time at ×5, so I'll catch you in a moment. Okay, so field's pretty much done. So not too bad. I probably should have thought about it and made this last bale a smaller bale. Potentially, we might have got that bale to drop, but doesn't matter. It'll be there for next time because we haven't got any grass fields or anything. So, so we're going to save 3,001 pound. Sorry, 3,001 liters ready for next time. Now let's just. Which button is it to unload? That one. Lovely. Right. So, what do we get? 3. I didn't actually look to see how much these are. So 8,250 per bale. So what's that? About 24, just under 25,000 litres there in the 3 that we've got. So that's good. 144, I think, is the best price there. But so you know, I don't know, about £3,500 if we sell it through at our best price. So that's better than nothing at the minute. We need that, so we certainly couldn't be thinking about ploughing or cultivating that straight into the ground. Extra income. So next, I think lettuce. So were these £500, 500 litres a pallet? Yes, they were. So there's 2,000 litres there. Is there more in there to spawn? Doesn't really seem to tell you. Oh yes, 427. So there's potentially another pallet going to pop out as soon as we pick those up. So that's what we need to do next, I think. But let's just check out the pricing and see if it is worth doing. If we don't do something like this today, though, we're going to go even more into minus if we skip through a day. So we're in July currently, I believe, wasn't it? So 2,840. It is going up. So we'll keep checking that out. Now, one thing I didn't do, which I've made a habit of doing each time I start an episode, is top up the chickens. So we'll just do that a moment. That'll burn through some time. I may well just skip time, just pop the speed up a little bit as well. So let's do this. Load that up. Oh, we do have to sell some chickens as well, actually. I forgot about that again. I've only just mentioned it. But so I think we'll do that first. We can lift that crate into the... Which is the button? That was the button. We can lift that crate into the kind of animal point in here. So we'll do that. We'll fill that with some chickens. That'll at least take us out of debt. And that'll buy us a bit more time, because I think if we leave the lettuce till a little bit later in the day, it's only going to go up in value. So right, let's just do this. Now, one thing I'm not sure of is it going to let me pick it up when there's chickens in it? Don't know. Now let's sell some of the 4 months, 6 months, 16 months. So I did say I'm not going to get rid of the oldest ones, because I can use that to see how long we've been playing for. So let's not... which ones? Let's go with those. Right, 4 of those. Move to trailer. Yes. And not those, not those. Those ones again, because they're worth 25. So you get the full value for them. Oh, you can still move it, that's great. So I'm not using super strength. So let's just pop that. You can move it, but it's a bit funny. There you go. Okay, so we've got to jump to the van. Hopefully we don't have any incidents again. This thing does have its fair share of glitches. However, I am wondering a lot of the things dropping under the map, going through the road. Although this does have its issues, it seems to happen with other things, standard in-game things as well. So I do wonder if it's the map, which just has a few little glitches on it as well. But I am enjoying the map though. This map's great. Okay, here we are, back at the yard. So let's load up the chickens, we'll drive them down, sell them, that will give us a little bit of a boost. Somehow we're down to minus 21 now, I'm not quite sure how we've managed to lose an extra pound. I've not used the chainsaw, so I don't quite know why that's gone down. But anyway, that'll even out in a minute. Now let's strap them in. Head on down. So on our way, nearly there now. So yeah, apologies I've not managed to record or post any videos for a little while. I've just not been feeling too great. Busy at work, doing our stock taking at the minute. So I do work in retail. Stock taking is quite a big thing, where they physically count every single product that we have in our shop. And there's a lot and lots of products to scan, so it's been very busy, a lot of preparation work, and a couple of night shifts which I'm doing tonight actually after I finish recording these. So yeah, anyway, what are these worth? Now if I remember, I had to get out. Brilliant. So 25 each, so there. Okay, so not much, but they tend to breed pretty quickly, so those 8 that we've taken away will soon top themselves back up. It's got us £200, so it's got us back out of debt, so £178 that we have now. I don't think I want to go... Oh dear. I don't think... Come on. I will miss this van. I think I will. Yeah, I don't want to sell any more chickens, because obviously what I don't want to do is adversely affect how many eggs they're producing, which isn't a great deal anyway. So I think just 8 at a time is probably safest. Now, let's head back to the yard. I'll meet you back there, and I'm just going to have a little think of what we're going to be doing next. Okay, here we are back at the yard. So I've just been having a little think. I think the only thing we can do, to be honest with you, is sell the lettuce. Because, well, we need the money. We need to get a front loader attachment. I honestly cannot remember how much that was. I know I've checked before. I want to say £3,000. And then we need to get a front loader, but the next thing has got to be, before we can do anything else, we've just got to clear that field now of those straw bales. Then we can potentially look at cultivators, or even that seeder I think I mentioned the last episode or a couple of episodes ago. I can't quite remember, but it looked like it was a direct drill. But we can't think about doing anything like that until we've now cleared those bales away. So we're going to have to do it. So I think... jump in the van, we'll leave the door open, we need to load up that lettuce. Okay, right, so let's just pop this lettuce in. I can't remember if I've managed to get these too high before. I can't remember what rules I kind of made up initially. I know that we could lift these, because realistically you just would. But I can't remember. In fact, why is it not letting me push that one back in? But yeah, I can't remember if we got them too high. I will try it. The problem is, because I haven't recorded or even played this now for coming on a couple of weeks, I can't quite remember what we were doing. But I'm sure. I think I said you can't get it on the roof. Now, obviously, that wouldn't happen in real life. So maybe I'm going against my original rules here. I can't remember. But we've done it now anyway. So, will this generate enough to get the front loader attacher for the tractor, which of course means we're going to have to drive that tractor back to the shop to do the customization on it, and then potentially will it allow us to afford a front loader? Now, while we're here, 497, so that's going to generate a new pallet in a second. Now, I haven't checked this today, and there is nothing there that we need currently. I have installed previously some front loader mods. Now, I've never used them, so I don't know if they just attach to anything. Yeah, these ones here, I mean, are they only supposed to attach to Massey Ferguson's? I assume they are. Small Classics mod. So, let's have a look a minute. Let's go into the Small Classics, the Massey Ferguson's, and just see what kind of... It's not those ones, it's those ones. Just see what the front loader attacher looks like. Yeah, okay, so they are specific ones there. Look, they're definitely not standard looking ones. So that rules those out. We're not going to be able to use the cheaper ones. Which one is it? That one that we've currently got? One owned, yes. Okay. I may have made an error. Now, when swapping the original tractor, which obviously glitched out, it had the option. But obviously, in changing it to this tractor, it now no longer has the option for a front loader, which changes things a bit. That makes things very difficult. What was that? 52 horsepower. Okay, so we have a dilemma. We cannot put a front loader onto our tractor, and I honestly don't know what we're going to do. I guess it's all part of the challenge, but honestly, this is a bit tricky now. I don't know what to do. How much is that tractor worth? I mean, I'd rather not sell it, if I'm honest with you, because I do quite like it and it's different, but £10,860. It's a real shame that that last one had those issues. That is a shame. But where are we at? Right. So that's the one that we have. That's way out of our money. John Deere. That does have a front loader attacher, doesn't it? Yes. But quite commonly used. Now, that one is awful. This one is really cool looking, but also pretty awful, because the biggest you can have is 45 horsepower. That's just no good. The Renault, I really like the Renault. I've used that before. I know that does have a front loader attacher. but that's £16,510 for that now. And we don't have that. Even if we sold the tractor, we don't have that. Let alone then being able to buy the front loader for it, which is going to be, well, again, I don't know which one will fit it. One of the standard ones, I think, which is another 7,000. Unless, of course, this one here at the end, Stow. I mean, that does look like the same sort of fitment. So potentially we could do that. So what's that? 17, so about 19,000 pound we would need to do to buy the Renault plus buy that. Then we actually have to buy the front attachment as well. So yeah, this is an unplanned dilemma, as you can tell. I haven't thought of this. So anyway, I do know I definitely said you can't put it on the roof. However, I don't know if the van will actually do 2 trips. And for a minute, as nothing else is going to plan, let's just do that and at least head up to the farmers market, sell the lettuce, and see how much money we got come the end of it. But I mean, 2 or 3 episodes in, potentially it looks like we're already getting rid of our first tractor, which is a bit different. However, a lot of the time the first tractor you buy just tends to become useless by the time you don't need it anymore. It's not worth any money, so they just kind of sit around as a showpiece, which I've done in a lot of my own safe games, and I know other YouTubers have done in a lot of their games, because they become not very useful to the actual farm and the story. So why not get rid of the first tractor? Potentially look at that Renault, but anyway, let's head up and see how much money we're going to get here. Okay, 7,131. Of course, the environmental score penalty again has taken away £459 of that. But that was good. That was a good boost. So we're probably £400 short of their maximum price. However, we're not in a point where we can wait. So £6,850 we got now. I mean, great. That's fantastic. Potentially that, along with selling the tractor, we could be looking at purchasing the Renault, which is a great tractor. It's a great mod. It looks good. I always like branded products, the extra brands that aren't necessarily standard in game. So I think that's what we're going to have to do. I think that is going to be our next task. Now we'll get that. We'll get the front loader attacher for it, and we'll get a front loader. Hopefully we've got enough to do that. Just in case, seeing as it's here, I will pick up this one as well, just to top it up ever so slightly. And there's no more around here, I'm assuming, are there? Not that I can see, not within the immediate area anyway. So yeah, we're not going to be getting the pickup truck or the new van for a minute or two, that's for sure. But we'll head back, pop this back to the farm. The only downside with this map not having a standard inbuilt shop area is you could sell stuff at a slightly better rate when you actually drove it and took it to the sell point. Now, I don't think I can sell anything at the service point that I fitted, because I've installed that. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to make the most of getting a little bit extra. But we're going to have to do it, and to be honest, it will probably pull the baler and things a little bit better for next time around, and it will probably pull the direct drill much better as well. So we're going to have to do it. We haven't got a choice. Let's just check second hand again. There is nothing there at all. So small tractors, unfortunately this one is going to go. So £10,860. That's it. That wasn't my intention, by the way. I thought we'd be using that for a little while, but we're not really upgrading for anything hugely better. But because this, although it's 106 horsepower, the other tractor could go all the way up to 145. So in theory, this is a little bit lesser when it comes to the actual future proofing. But there you go. So £1,500 for the front loader attacher. Does it make any difference adding tyres? Yes, it does. Oh, that's interesting. So we can get the narrows. They look kind of odd, but that's good because obviously crop destruction is on. Kind of makes the tractor lean back at a funny angle there, though. But that's fine. Standard. Oh, that's a shame because some of these look quite cool, but why are they so odd at the back? Yeah, we'll just go standard because the rest of them make the tractor kind of look like it's wheeling. So let's stick with standard. No idea what difference that makes. Oh, there are your front weights. Oh, and wow, so for 1,750 we can potentially get that in the future, so that's good. Design, what does this do? Okay, that's just the beacon. Let's go with that, and the room colour, we'll leave that standard. So 16,510. We need to do it, so that's that. That is done. So £2,200 we have now. Now, £3,000 is what we needed for the front loader. And then there's the front loader attachment, which would more than likely be a bale spike. So let's just have a look and see how much that is, just so we can at least plan ahead. Have I installed anything a bit cheaper? Oh yes, I have. Wonderful. So one of these ones here, probably that one at £700. Let's just buy it. Let's buy it while we're here. 2 spikes, 4 spikes, makes no difference. Attacher type for a front loader. Oh, interesting. Right, we'll leave it as front loader, obviously. We'll leave it as standard colour. So £700, that's that done as well. So we have £1,500. We need exactly 1,500 more pounds to get the front loader. Get the bales out of the way, then we can start saving up for the direct drill, and we can start moving on to actually doing some farming, actually planting our own field, which would be great. We've got the fertilizer spreader, so we can do that. Potentially we need to look at purchasing the field data, unless of course the actual scanner comes up cheap in the shop, but we do need to do that really. And yeah, I think that's it, to be honest. So thank you very much for watching. I have no idea how long this episode would have been, so hopefully it was long enough and it wasn't too bad, because I haven't done them in a while. You honestly, it's like not doing something in 2 weeks' time. You start all over again and you forget everything that you were doing. So hopefully it comes out a decent length. I'll probably continue playing now, record the next episode, just so at least I can post a couple with relatively quick succession. And again, I do apologise if you've been watching all the ones previously. I am feeling a bit better now, where it's kind of calming down a little bit after the next couple of nights. So I have pre-recorded already, by the way, 2 more of the survival roleplay episodes as well. I just need to edit them and hopefully get them released for the weekend. So I'm back on track, hopefully. Thanks again for all the support and comments that I've had in the past. Yeah, great. I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.